So one of my main like issues is like just finding like things to post. You know, like I always have like a really hard time like marketing my own stuff because it's like, I don't know, like the most I feel like I could do is like make like a lyric video, you know. But then it's like I don't even know what to make the lyric video to. Like I don't know what to put as a video, you know. Another thing that I wanted like maybe some advice on is like when I should post, you know, like how consistently and like how the algorithm would work in that case.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's obviously a multi-part answer. I'm going to start with the easier answer, which is how often to post, and then we'll get into a little bit of like getting around that I don't know, that content fog, you know what I mean, that happens when you're an artist. And even because I make my own content on my page, I post about 3 times a week on Instagram, and that's my recommendation for that is for Instagram, you want to post about every other day. You don't want to drown it out on Instagram. Split it up, you know, do a picture on Monday or a photo dump on Monday, a video on Wednesday, a video on Friday, a video on Sunday, a video on Tuesday, a photo dump on Thursday. Like kind of throw little photo dumps in there, mostly videos, once every other day on Instagram. On TikTok, you could post an unlimited amount of times, up to like 10 or 12 per day. So just as many as you can get out, and then YouTube Shorts twice a day is good as well. Now, obviously the bigger question on the what to post is really dependent on your situation and the results that you get. So some good base ideas to start off with is like when you're in the studio, simple video of you performing like a lyric video, I think you were calling it, but like just a trailer basically of you performing the song that you just recorded in the studio. You could do that. You can do one in the control room and one in the booth. You can record the entire 2-minute song and split those videos into multiple 20 to 30 second segments. So now making 2 different videos, if you split them into 3 videos each, now you've made 6 videos in the studio. Playing the song in the car, doing the same thing just in the car, split it up into 3, now you got 9. Doing like a day in the life, like what did I wear today, what did I eat today, where did I go today. I think something else that would be really popular that not a lot of people are willing to do is like living a double life, working my job and pursuing music. That's what people want to see. People want to see authenticity in whatever you're doing, and whatever type of videos you're going to post, you want it to be your authentic and true self. So that's just a couple examples of like trailer style in the car, in the studio, in your house, outside, at a basketball court, at an event like this. Other things too is like, I don't know what type of, do you like rap, sing?
Well, I started off with rap.
Yeah.
And right now I'm trying to like do it like, I'm trying out different, I mainly started off with rap. Yeah. And you know, I'm trying to do different things right now. Yeah. I'm trying to get into more like alternative, you know, more alternative like rock-ish, you know. But you know, it's just kind of like, because it's like I haven't really been thinking of any content for rap, you know.
Well, something that you could do that I think would be cool too is that if the reason why I ask is you can do it with the rap, but they're really overdone. But like you can cover popular songs that you like and give fans like, this is what, and like these are really good for TikTok, not really as much Instagram, but this is what I would sound like on insert song here. And you go on YouTube, find an instrumental, and do a freestyle in your bedroom. Not a freestyle, you know what I mean? But like do something in the bedroom, you know. I think that could be a whole other type of content in a way that you can bring in additional views as well as by doing stuff like that and just figuring out different ways to get yourself out there. Day in the life, music, your music, covering other people's music, even other stuff like I talked to a guy earlier, his name is Bodega Blunts. He hit 1 million views on a reel by putting a motivational quote in front of his face eating a bowl of cereal or something like that. And while it may not directly be involved in his music at all, it's still brought, I think he said he got like 800 or 900 followers in 2 days off of this post getting viral, and now he's been able to recreate that concept and get other videos at 50, 60, 70,000 views. So you just want to do as much as you possibly can until something works. Take what works, rinse, repeat, improve. That's actually, I keep looking at that. It's like mad. Is that real?
What,
the tattoo?
Oh yeah.
It's like real, super detailed.
Yeah, I got it on Halloween.
That shit is nice. I don't have any tattoos, but it's really detailed. But yeah, I hope those answer your questions.
Yeah.
If you have any more, feel free.
Thank you so much for answering all my questions, bro. It was nice meeting you. What's your name again? Logan? Nice meeting you.
Thank you, my friend.
What's up? It's Meticulous with Underground Development. We're here with
Logan. That's out of Export. We're outside.
So he's one of the career coaches at UD32 tonight. So I'm asking him a couple questions that I can use to apply to my artistic career. I'm a rapper. I make music. He works with rappers and other people that make music. So my first question, somebody somebody that works with artists, and spends a lot of time with them, how much time do you think an artist needs to dedicate to be successful and have a successful career?
40 hours a week, just like anything else. Just like a job, 9 to 5. 5 to 9 though, because a lot of people have the 9 to 5 already. I think that you have to want it more than anything else, because you said you're an artist that makes music. Proverbially there's another artist on that couch that's willing to work harder than you. You know what I mean? So you have to work as hard as you possibly can, and it's really unlimited. It could be 40 hours one week, it could be 10 the next, it could be 0 the next, it could be 100 the one after that, depending on what you have to do. So I think that it's more of a mindset thing, and it's total dedication of whatever you have. If you're somebody that is already working 2 jobs and you only got 10 spare hours a week, and then your 100% is 10 hours, and that's what you got to give it. You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest thing, is you have to give it everything. And honestly, I would say more often than the hours a week is the amount of weeks you do it in a row, which is over 104, which is 2 years. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. All right, and then so, dealing with that dedication, some artists dedicate a lot to the artistic side. Yeah. Some more dedicate that to the business side. What do you think is the right ratio for a new artist or someone like you? Would you say that having someone like you as a manager or as part of the team, if I'm an artist, this is kind of a loaded question, my apologies, but if I'm an artist, right, and I hire someone like you for my team, does that mean I can kind of slack on my ratio as far as what I'm putting in business-wise? You know what I mean?
That's a good question. I think that bringing on somebody, and I just to be clear, and I know you didn't say this, but I don't manage anybody. I advise. Having me jump onto your team as an advisor is going to allow 2 main things to happen. Number one, you're going to be able to skip steps on the ladder because I've made the mistakes, I've made the connections, and if you're going to work with me, I'll use them for you. You know what I mean? And we can climb the ladder and get things done at a much higher rate than you'd be able to on your own. I think it doesn't necessarily allow you to, now if we're looking at a circle of 100%, it doesn't allow you to for the 100 to go down to 80 when you have me. But say you're splitting half of your time on business, half of your time on creative, it would allow you to spend less time on business and more time on creative. Honestly, with the right resources, I can make it so you spend 0 time on business. You just have to have the resources for that. You know what I mean? I think that there's also, to add something to that answer, is that it's also important to understand where in your career you are. So let's take, you for example, and don't take this the wrong way, but right now you don't have any business that needs to be done because there's nobody sitting right there waiting to buy a feature from you. There's nobody waiting to book you. So all of your time should be spent creatively because you don't have any business to do. And I think that that's one of the mistakes that a lot of artists early on make, is they spend way too much time doing business and trying to create this aura that they're like super businessmen, but it's like you don't have a business yet. Your business earned $2,000 in the last calendar year. Focus on some business when you're doing 6 figures a year, you know what I mean, in streams, record sales, merch sales, concert tickets, endorsements, social media posts, when you actually have a business to talk about and a business to worry about at that point, yeah, you want to spend just as much time on your business as you are as your creative. But if there's nothing to be done in the business world, don't just create something to work on just for the sake of having a business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's really solid advice. That's honestly closer to my personal philosophy, and I do kind of see that same thing. So it's interesting that you said that.
One of the most annoying things to somebody like me is somebody with no motion, and I don't mean that in a negative way. But one of the worst things for me is somebody with no motion trying to do things like somebody with motion. It's just like, not even fake the motion, it's fake the business behind the motion. Like when one of the most common things, and people don't even realize they're doing, is like they'll pretend to have managers, and it's like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna know the guy doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, why do that to yourself? It just makes you look like you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fake, pretend artists. And then for the last question, I'll say, I'm gonna just do a overall general question. What do you think is like the 1 or 2 most common mistakes you see artists making, kind of in the beginning of their career, and that you like when you start working with a new client or with an artist in general, that you say like, let's nip that in the bud automatically, like that, let's stop that habit?
I would say the number one thing is over strategizing, similar to kind of what we were just talking about. Just thinking too much when thinking doesn't need, like, you need to, if you're not earning, let's not even talk earning. If you don't have 500,000 or at least 125, 200,000, somewhere in that streams a week, you shouldn't be over strategizing what you're doing. You should be flooding out and getting as much traction as you possibly can. And when traction picks up, we start planning. But it should just be an opening of the floodgates up until you achieve your desired result. The second most common mistake that I see people make that I think is the most easily avoidable is just to stop listening to what people tell you. Like, if somebody, like, I have never in my life, you've somebody that's known me for a while, followed me for a while, ran into me, when have I ever came up to you and said, hey, bro, like, if you just do this with me, I'm going to make this happen for you. Just give me this amount of money and I'm going to get you lit. When have I ever done that? And it's like, when people come up to you and just lie in the DMs like that, like, if somebody's DMing you to sell you something, that's already a red flag. So just be more cognizant in who you're working with. Work with people that have recently achieved the level of success that you're trying to get to. And don't work with people that DM you and make false promises, because that's the quickest way to get screwed.
Thank you.
Hey, Brent. Thank you.
Cool. So as far as routine goes, like, what would be your tips for, like, a beginning artist for, like, balancing your personal life with your creative aspirations?
We have to share it. So the question was, how do I recommend somebody balance their music and personal life? Okay, perfect. So, I mean, it really depends on the individual person. For people that have work, I think that's honestly the easiest answer, which is just do your work and then suck it up and come home and do the music stuff. Nothing in life comes without sacrifice. I think that a lot of people just expect to just record music, put it out, and somebody's just going to come save you and sign you, you know what I mean? But you got to put in the work, just like anything else in life. And I think that's one of the most overlooked parts of it is, like, I get that question a lot, and it's like, there is no balance, you know what I mean? And this is actually a debate that I have with the Wave Change guys over there a lot, but I really don't think there is. If you're going to do it, you're going to give it 100%, or you're not going to win. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people that have given it 50% and have gotten nowhere, and I know a lot of people that have put in 100% and gone a lot of places. So I would just say to just be comfortable being uncomfortable, sleep less, work more, work on your music more, get in the studio, make sacrifices financially, physically, mentally, and it'll get you something.
That's nice. Yeah, that's really interesting, because it's really funny. I was just talking to my boy right before this about, like, priorities, and what you really want to go for is gonna happen. It's really just being real with yourself and, like, figuring out, like, all right, where's my energy going? I had another question. I'm missing it right now. As far as building a network, where would you, for a beginning artist, what would you say the first step to that would be?
Beginning a network of people?
Yeah, as far as, like,
perfect. I would say the first step to any, and you mean a network a network of professionals or a network of fans? You want to do both?
Let's do both.
Okay. So a network of fans post on Instagram once every other day. Video, photo, video, photo. Nice little balance of videos and photos. TikTok twice a day. YouTube Shorts twice a day. You can recycle the content on all three platforms. It'll hit 3 different audiences. It won't matter. My advice, honestly, and this is a hot take, but my advice on the industry side of things is don't bother networking until you have fans, because nobody that works in this music industry is going to give a shit about you until you have fans. And that's just a sad reality. But even me, like, I'm sitting here, I don't care how many fans you have, we're sitting here talking, but for me to really help you, you need to have fans. And we either need to build them, so that way we have that leverage to really make something happen, like a deal or a major performance or meeting an artist or getting whatever an artist might want to do. It's a million times easier to do with fans. On top of money, there's a lot of things you can buy with money, right? Money and fans are the two biggest currencies in the industry. The money is the easy part. It greases the palms. How much for this video? How much for this photo shoot? How much for this space? How much for this mix? How much for this slot? How much for this ticket? It's monetary. But there's certain things you can't do without the currency of fans. So I don't care how much money you have, you won't perform your song on Jimmy Fallon without fans. It's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? I don't care how much money you have. Your song is not gonna get put on Spotify's billboard in the center of Times Square if you don't have fans. There's certain things that money can't buy that you need the fans for. So I would spend all your time and money building fans, and then when you have fans, begin to leverage with the DJs, the A&Rs, the promoters, all these type of people, because if not, you're just going to be like every other guy that's asking them for something with nothing to offer. Because all you can offer some people is fans. You want to perform on a show? I booked Trippie Redd. Right? I gave the slots away for free to people that would sell tickets. Why? Because I had somebody offer me a 2011 Honda Accord to perform on that show. Like, they're going to give me the title to their car. Can I join you? They were going to give me the title to their car in exchange for... Did I ever tell you that story? When somebody offered to trade me a title to their 2011 Honda for a Trippie Redd slot? So I was going to trade a Honda for a Trippie Redd slot. I don't want to say I was going to do it because I really wasn't. But somebody offered me a Honda. I would rather... I gave it to somebody that sold 111 tickets. Because that was more valuable to me. Him bringing 111 fans was way more valuable than that Accord. That Accord is useless to me. I'm going to have to sell it, take time selling it, insure it, park it somewhere. I don't want to do that. I had 111 ticket sales. The tickets were an average of $60. That's like $6,000, $7,000. He got an opportunity to perform. He got paid for a percentage of his ticket sales. He won, I won, everybody won. Money couldn't buy your way onto that show. No matter how much you have. Somebody could offer me $10,000, I would have said no. Because I need the fans in the building. I don't need somebody up there that nobody's going to know. So that's really my answer, is just to recap it, because this was a long answer, is focus on the fans until you have a decent amount. And by decent amount, I'm talking like every time you post, you got 50 people commenting that you don't know personally. You know what I mean? So like 100 comments. Because you're going to get your 50 friends and family, still do that. But if that's all you're getting... Like, somebody like me, I can go through your page and look at 10 posts and determine and look, oh, I see this name every time. That doesn't count. I see this name every time. That doesn't count. You know what I mean? Like, because you can tell, like, it's an engagement group 9 times out of 10. So I'm looking for I'm looking for hate. Because nobody you know is going to leave hate. But the hate tells me the post is getting into the algorithm. So get to the point where you have fans. And then go after networking, DJs, radios, A&Rs, the whole 9 yards. Because to get signed to a record label, you need at least 100,000 streams a week. So it's futile to try until then. And another hot take, you can't pay to get signed to a record label. If anybody charges you to do anything with a record label, run the other way. Because they're legally, and when you work at a record label, you sign an NDA and a non-disclosure with the record label saying, I'm not going to do anything besides this record label. So, or any real employee is not taking you to a meeting for $3,000. It's not happening.
That's so interesting. So that was a good one. That's a good one. I gotta.
Story, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. There's a couple. I gotta digest that one. No, for sure. So I'll hit you with a little bit of a personal one. I'm in this in-between stage. It's weird. Where, like, I wouldn't say I'm a beginner in it, you know? Yeah. Like, I just got to the point where there's people that I don't know that maybe saw me at a show this one time, you know, they're commenting on my posts, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I'm trying to get to this next phase where, like, for a lack of better words, where they're singing my songs at the shows, you know? So, like, you know, so it's like, what would be your tips for an intermediate artist, you know? Like, that one, like, what would you say? I absorbed what you said about posting daily, you know what I'm saying, especially recycling content, you know, that was a big one for me. What would you say besides, like, the social media aspect? What can you do, like, in person, or, like, just to, like, I don't know, like, get in tune with your fans, for lack of better words?
I got another story. So I got an artist named Jamie from Florida. He goes by Baby J now.
Pull up your artist.
This guy from Florida, Baby J, asked me the same question a while ago because he had been doing the social media thing for a while, and was like, what else can I do? And I was like, well, why don't you go to the mall and pass out business cards? And he did it, and he collected phone numbers from the mall and got business cards, because his real goal was to chart on iTunes. And I was like, well, it's only like, if like 500 people buy your song, you'll chart. So go to the mall and meet 500 people and get them to buy your song. I swear to God, he did it. And if you go on his page, you can see the song in the charts. So, don't be afraid to go to the mall. Don't be afraid to come to events like this and meet people. Don't be afraid to go out to shopping centers. Don't be afraid to stop people. Don't be afraid to keep making content. And then on top of that, too, it's also just like rinsing and repeating the beginner steps until you're at the point where you have leverage. So those will never go away. You could just, once you really get somewhere, feel more confident with yourself and your music, you can start to go out.
That's so interesting. Yeah, like you really changed my perspective on a lot of things. You know, what's up?
Good grab in this?
Yeah, there always is. He asked if there's grabba in this. Yeah. So that's all I have for you. You know what I'm saying? Anything for me? You know, like.
No, keep pushing. Don't give up. Give it 3 years of trying it every day before you give up.
Yeah.
If you try it every day for 3 years and nothing happens, then give up.
Got you. Nah, never giving up was never on the list. I got you. Yeah. No, that's all I got. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you sharing the L.
Yeah, for sure.
Back to you right now.